Hi, everybody. Welcome to North Country Game Day. My name is Matt Buto, here to do a quick check-in for this past week, this upcoming week. A lot of excitement in high school athletics, including football, and a lot of success too. So let's get going right away. For those who may not have watched a video before, we mostly cover Berlin Gorham athletics, meaning high school, golf, um, cross country, soccer, field hockey. Um, and gladiator football, and really everything in between. If there's other interest in other areas, please let me know, and we could do that too. But let's get going. The first thing I want to say is I went to see the Gladiators play up in Wales, Maine, their first game of the season, and only I think 75% of the team may have been their first game ever, which I thought was just outstanding. And they played good football. Um, I think, as we would expect, there's a lot to learn, but they kept going out there. They kept trying hard. They kept staying in the trenches, trying to get out with one another. It was just really cool to watch. So special thanks to the Gladiators football team. I got some footage. Go on North Country Game Day YouTube channel. Got some footage. I think one video I'd like to point out is their first touchdown of the season. Congratulations to Grayson Young, who, if you watch the video, I'll try to get it up on here, but if you watch the video, the kid's fast and he can move, and he probably outmaneuvered seven or eight, really all the defenders to make the first touchdown. So congratulations to him, Grayson Young. There are actually a couple players from the Groveton area, I think Groveton Stark area. Grayson Young and Carter Shannon were playing on the team this year. I believe both of them first year football players. And as you can see in Grayson's video on the YouTube channel, it looks like he's been playing football all his life, really. So nice to see those two boys, good boys and hard workers. So they didn't come away with a win, at least in the score. But a lot of them got their first tackles out of the way. A lot of them got their first falls out of the way, and anything else that might come with butterflies and all those things. So it was good to watch Gary Lamonte and Gary Richard coaching the team. And again, congratulations to Grayson Young. The Gladiators will be playing at home next week, I believe at 10 a.m. That's subject to change. Most of the schedule is subject to change. But I'd love to see a good crowd. Going to try to get some video in there, possibly live. Um, my cousin Connor played for the Gladiators a few years ago, a couple years ago, and it was really exciting. So come down and check it out. Middle school games at 10. I think the high school games in the afternoon. I'm not sure about the smaller kids, but definitely middle school 10 a.m. And I think the high school level teams at 1 a.m. with Coach Dominic Kane. So again, congratulations getting the first one out of the way. Um, I was just looking at who can I give shout outs to? I think I could probably give shout outs to the whole team. But I'm looking at my roster here. A couple names that come to mind. Cole Buto, first kick ever. Kickoff was excellent. And just the whole list, really. Um, Bradley Dickinson was a force out there. Abel Henry is his first game. He did outstanding. Troy Lamontagne as a quarterback, great job. It goes on and on. Even Presley was there with his broken arm, cheering the team on, which I really respect. Cam Stiastny, probably one of the fastest players on the team. I mentioned Carter Shannon. I mean, the list goes on and on. Connor Doobie, who had been a little bit under the weather, was out there playing hard. Hayden, Daniel, Damian, Sion, I believe is how you pronounce that. Ian, boy, for such a small kid, boy, he would go after the biggest kid out there. So, if I forgot anybody, I apologize, but it was a really good game. So, field hockey, I'm still waiting on a roster and um, some thoughts on the season. As we know, Coach Nick Yarglin's, if not the best field hockey coach out there, historically, championships, et cetera, et cetera. You know that the team that she puts out on the field is going to compete. And if I'm correct here, looking at my schedule, and compete they did. They were down at their season opener. down in Mascoma Valley with a big 2-1 win. I don't have a lot of details on it, but it sounds like a hard-fought game. Sounds like a big game, and you need to win those. So last I talked with Coach Arguin, I think she had 14, 12 to 14 new players, but a good core of returning players. And I can't say it enough. You watch those teams, and they compete every game, every year. Um, so I'm sure that that was a big win. When I look at their schedule coming up, there's going to be a game on September 8th at 4 p.m. versus, I'll have to double check that actually. Yeah, so they're playing Hopkinton away September 8th, traveling down to Hopkinton. And on September 9th, they're playing at home, which is going to be a big game for many reasons. It's going to be a night game under the lights here at home, 6:30 p.m. And that's also going to be the time where we make the field orange and recognize people who have been impacted or diagnosed with cancer. The t-shirts, all these other good things are coming up because you can see on the screen, t-shirts, pins, stickers. Just a really cool night, really big game under the lights. I'm not sure if there's ever been a game under the lights here in Berlin, at least. So that's next Tuesday, September 9th, 6:30 p.m. Get there, cheer the team on, get a shirt, get a sticker. Great, great cause. I know that we have some winners that we announced a week or two ago. I'll be there to give out shirts, if not before the game. I have my own, and we'll be there trying to offer some video, possibly live streaming, although it's a little difficult at the school for cell phone service. But that's going to be a big one. Love to see that place orange under the lights. Wicked cool. So let's make sure we get out there and do that. So that's September 9th. So Berlin Field Hockey down in the Hopkinton, taking the couple-hour ride down to Hopkinton. Another big game. Not sure if they're a rival, but I know years past they've had some playoff games with them. And then the big one, September 9th, here in Berlin, 6:30 p.m. under the lights, and we're painting the field orange, and I'm excited for that. So, um, with that said, let's go to Berlin soccer, girls soccer, I should say. Um, Thanks to Pete Perry, Coach Pete Perry. He's given me some information that I'd like to share with you guys. Here's the first thing. Game one, Monadnock win 1-0. Game two, tie with Kennett 1-1. A really good Kennett team. And then game three, a 4-1 win. Berlin girls soccer starts off undefeated with a tie with the highly skilled and really good coached Kennett team 1-1. Really good positive start. But what I like about Coach Pete Perry is, he's got some good, he's got some things to work on. Seeing the field much better, just looking over my notes. Early start, first game, seeing the field better. Um, Usually that comes in time, but as Coach pointed out, it's starting now, which is really great. Um, but a good game against a tough Monadnock team, knowing that that's likely going to be a 0-0, 1-0 game. It could go either way, but they ended up pulling off a win. What I liked what he said about that game too is that they're not they're not in panic mode, especially defensively. They do what they need to do. They do their job, if you will, not to be cliche. Taking possession of the ball, looking to keep it, not just kicking it around, kicking it downfield, knowing that it's a 0-0 game, knowing that it's a 1-0 game. They stay calm. They stay out of panic mode, and which was led to a successful 1-0 win. It sounds like Brooklyn Gagne got the sniper. Brooklyn Gagne got the um, first goal, put the ball in the back of the net off of a Zoe Weston feed. So things that come out of that game. One of my favorite parts is defensively, we're not in panic mode. That's hard to do in most games, especially hard to do your first game early season against a tough Monadnock team. And then they take on Kennett. And that was a 1-1 tie. And when you hear the Kennett games, there's a lot of good feeder programs out there. The Mount Washington Valley Soccer Club. There's a lot of kids, a lot of boys and girls playing soccer. They're really young. And so when you play against a team like Kennett, you find that, wow, like they're good. They put 11 players out on the field. They have good fundamentals, good skill, and Coach Perry knew that coming in. But as he says, the girls were well conditioned, and again, they didn't panic. They were ready to play soccer. They've been waiting for this moment. They've been excited for this moment. And at the end of the day, if you can't get into your head, we're playing Kennett, they're good, et cetera, et cetera. But no, we're good. We're conditioned. We can compete, and let's not panic. Again, recipes for a very, very successful season. Um, Thoughts on that game? I think all the coaches try to minimize mistakes, which they did. Then Kylie Doobie puts it in the back of the net for a 1-0 lead. Again, Gagne was there to help out to try to to get that momentum. Um, Nice breakaway goal. I don't have video of it, but a nice breakaway goal, which is outstanding. And then there was about 13 minutes left, and there was I believe a corner kick. Ball went in the back of the net. It happens again, still 1-1 tie. You still got to play soccer. They still weren't. They didn't let their emotions take over the game, and they were able to. They were able to keep their composure. Shaylee, I hope I get this right. Shaylee Clark with 43 saves, including a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful penalty kick save, which are very difficult. Not great odds for a goalie, but sounds like Shaylee came away with 43 stops. Uh, Exciting, exciting, so excited. They go down to Hillsborough Daring, and I haven't had a chance to check in with Coach Perry, but they go down and play Hillsborough Daring with a 4-1 win. Seems like it all comes together at that point. Put a couple of biscuits in the basket, and I'm sure the likes of Brooklyn Gagne and Zoe Weston and the rest of the team. Um, we're playing well, so that's exciting. Don't have many details on that, but this is a Berlin high school girls soccer team with a lot of potential. There's a lot of excitement around this team. I think Coach Perry has a busy week, a more difficult week next week, but they're ready to play 3-0. Congratulations to them. I'll take a quick look at their schedule for you. All this is available on NHIEA. Next week on 9/8, they're playing at home versus St. Thomas. And then on 9/12, they're going down to Somersworth. A difficult week, but that's high school soccer. So St. Thomas on September 8th, at Somersworth on September 12th. I'm looking forward to hearing more from Coach Perry on a successful Berlin high school girls soccer game. With that being said, we're off to soccer boys, and some good info from Coach Hool. Coach Hool and Coach Lamb is able to actually get to a couple games since they were home, and um, got to a JV game as well. But it looks like another successful week. Big win in Winnisquam 8-2. Dylan Bushy 5 goals and 2 assists. Boyd Poulin 2 goals, 2 assists. Um, Evan Hill had a goal and an assist. Outworked, outplayed, out hustled. Just an overall good game. I think one thing that Coach Hool wanted to clean up was just those mistakes, like small mistakes, like we all make. But a big 8-2 win in Winnisquam. Um, Good stuff. Good stuff. And Dylan Bushy 5 goals. Boyd Poulin 2 goals. Huge. So congratulations to them. Then they play against again another skilled and well-coached Kennett team with a big win. I was there for that one. North and South played well. Not North and South in a sense where it was boot ball, but just controlled the ball, made their efforts count, and they came away with a 3-1 win against a Division II Kennett team who had Evan Hill scoring 3 goals, get the hat trick. Arsenault, Boyd Poulin, and Jordy Bledsoe with the assists. Everybody's chipping in. One game you had Dylan scoring 5 goals. The next game you have Evan Hill scoring 3 goals. Again, you see Boyd Poulin's name up there. You'll hear Jordy's name, Bledsoe's name a lot, and then I think Jaden Arsenault was the one freshman on that team. Big win, 3-1, Kennett. And then They had another home game against Hillsborough Daring. So while the Berlin girls soccer team was going down to Hillsborough Daring, boys played up here against Hillsborough Daring. Another win, 3-1. And some of those names that we've been hearing throughout the season: Dylan Bushy, 2 goals; Boyd Pooley, 1 goal. Coach Houle mentioned, we scored that first goal to set the tone. A lot of pressure. There were a lot of offsides, but a lot of pressure, 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 and it really took Hillsborough Daring, took them out of the game. And once Berlin had that momentum, they just kept going. I think that last goal for Hillsborough Daring kind of slipped in with maybe 2 seconds left, 2 or 3 seconds left. Um, so yeah, 3-1, very commanding start to the season for Berlin, who is now 3-0. An 8-2 win against Winnisquam, 3-2 win against Division Two Kennett, and a 3-1 win against Hillsborough Daring. Off to a great start. Take a quick look at their schedule for the week. Boys. So Berlin, let me make sure I get this correct for you. So the boys, for Coach Hoole's boys team, I may have confused myself. I apologize. The boys will be playing home on September 8th at 4 in St. Thomas, and then at Somersworth on 9/12. And then the girls, let me just clarify. The girls will be um, at St. Thomas on 9/8, and then home against Interlakes on 9/10, September 10th. So for Coach Hoole's team, he will be home versus St. Thomas on 9/8, at St. I'm sorry, at Somersworth on 9/12. Regardless, those boys are ready to play. I've seen them. They're working hard out there. They're doing the things they need to do. Good sportsmanship, good teamwork, and putting the ball in the back of the net. So I'm looking forward to watching both of those soccer teams next week and see what they do. Should be really good. Gorham boys, let me double check to see what information I have for the Gorham boys. I do have their schedule here in front of me. Let me just get there real quick. Gorham boys soccer came out with a 3-2 win against Sunapee. That was their home opener, their season opener. I don't have a lot of information on the game, but Sunapee's a good soccer team, and Gorham was able. Then they went over to Groveton for a 5-0 win, a commanding win. Um, Dave Backler, Coach Dave Backler is always working on fundamentals and mechanics. I know they lost a lot of seniors last year, but they're still competing, and they still have a bunch of talent against a good Sunapee team. And Groveton is no slouch either. 5-0 win. Um, I get a quick email from Coach Backler. They're continuing to work on fundamentals, continuing to work on mechanics. He has a good young team and is excited for the season. Looking at their schedule, again, this is Gorham boys. They will have a game on 9/8 at Linwood, and then a game 9/10 at Profile. I'm sorry, home versus Profile. So September 8th at Linwood, September 10th at home versus Profile, and usually two competitive teams. So a young, fast, well-coached Gorham boys team will be heading off to Linwood on Monday. Looking forward to hearing more information on that. Going quickly over to the girls team. Um, Boys, girls, make sure I get the right info for you. All right. So girls team, I'm trying to get their schedule up here for you. So let me do this here real quick. Unedited and uncut version here today. Um, Looking at the girls, coached by Carissa LaChance. All coaches are busy this time of year, so it's difficult to get information sometimes, which I completely understand. They go down to Sunapee, 1-1 tie, which I think was a good game. Good first game. Excuse me, season opener. Then they go over to Groveton, a very good and physical Groveton team, and they lose that game 3-0. I don't have much information, but I do know that it's a team that's learning to work together and learning to kind of mesh. It's a young team. I got another team that's lost, quite a few seniors. So probably still looking for their identity as a team. But a 1-1 tie against Sunapee and a 3-0 loss against Groveton. That's a Groveton team that's well coached and has a lot of skill and is very physical. I'm sure those were learning opportunities for Coach LaChance and Coach Wazine and the players. So looking forward to following more of their games and watching their success. They're going to be at Linwood as well on 9-8 and home versus Profile on 9-10. Should be a couple of good games. Always really competitive teams. But they started off the season 1-1. So I probably apologize. 0-1-1 with a quality tie against Sunapee and a tough loss, literally and figuratively against Groveton. But again, looking forward to covering their games. I have some information on golf. Still hoping to hear from the golf coaches. I know that golf up here for Gorham, I believe there's a Littleton team as well, White Mountains Regional. I know that it's becoming very popular. So I wanted to make sure to cover that as well. I don't have a lot of details, and I'm still kind of learning how the scoring works. But it does look like Gorham was down in Maltonborough on August 27th, September 2nd down at Interlakes, and they had a home match on 9-4. What I can tell you is that I believe that Gorham down in Maltonborough lost versus Concord Christian, Maltonborough, and Wilton Lindenborough. They also went down to Interlakes and I believe lost in Messinic Newport Interlakes versus them. And then at home, which was really cool, that their home match, they were able to pull off a win versus Littleton, I believe, and unfortunate losses to Belmont and Woodsville. So I don't know much. I'm learning about the sport. I like to see that Gorham does have a team. Um, I know that it's becoming more popular in high school. I'm hoping that other schools will do that. Sounds like Gorham, Littleton, Woodsville up here in the North Country, and then White Mountains Regional. Other schools possibly. I didn't see their names, but I know there's been a lot of success in the Gorham golfing program. Maybe a runner-up last year, maybe a championship. I'd have to look. Um, but as a new golfer myself, I'm excited and a son who picked up golfing this past summer. I'm excited to see more. So that's it. There you have it. I don't have much information on the cross country. I will though. I'm sure I'll run into Mr. Ward. I think they're bringing a 4 or 5 runner team, um, and we'll see. But that's about it. That wraps up the week and the upcoming week. I know that there's a lot of excitement going on. We have home openers, we have homecomings, Gorham homecoming, White Mountains Regional homecoming, where Berlin's playing in, Berlin homecoming. We have the fundraiser night for leukemia and people that are impacted by cancer on next Tuesday for the field hockey game. Painting the field orange. It's a night game. Starts at 6:30. We'll be down there. Gladiators are playing their first home game, the middle school level team, next Saturday at 10 a.m. It's fall, so there's a lot happening. For me, if you wouldn't mind, take a look at our YouTube page, North Country Game Day. Um, Go subscribe, like, whatever that might be. We also have Facebook. Working hard on improving the coverage and spending some time with editing and producing. I say those terms likely. I say those terms lightly, I should say, only because I have no clue what I'm doing. But special thanks to Cole Buto for helping me out and doing some of the behind the scenes work. Any images on here are either from my own collection. I use collaborate with the schools. So enjoy the images, enjoy the pictures, enjoy the videos. Go check it out. Facebook, North Country Game Day. YouTube North Country Game Day, Instagram North Country Game Day. For me, I believe I'm going to be working hard getting video clips throughout the week, trying to cover the field hockey game on September 9th and the Gladiators game on Saturday. But regardless, looking forward to seeing you guys out there somewhere. Anything you want to share with me, please do. I'll see you around.